Hi, it's Kirsty from Blue Planet Custodians here. As you know, our intention is to provide creative and new ways that are maybe a little bit different to help you find ways to be more sustainable and for you to become a Blue Planet custodian as well. So I'm talking today with Johan from Hempcrete Australia. Thanks for joining us today, Johan.
You're welcome.
The first question I want to ask is, what is Hempcrete?
Hempcrete is a mix of lime and hemp. This is the industrial hemp we see here. This is the wood of the industrial hemp plant. The fibers have been taken away from it. It's an all natural product. Mm-hmm. And this gets mixed with a lime mix, a special binder, and water to come to a paste. And the paste will end up looking like this when it's all dry.
Wow. So how strong is it?
It's very strong. It's got good MPa ratings, good strength ratings, but the compression strength are not made to take roof and floor loadings as such.
Right. So when somebody is using it in their home, for instance, how would they use it in their home?
They would insulate the walls that are load-bearing with the product.
Right.
So the product will encase the frame that is load-bearing.
Okay. And so how does that contribute to sustainability? How does Hempcrete contribute to sustainability?
Well, the hemp will sequester a lot of carbon and will create a clean environment by just being a plant in itself. The lime has been burned to become the lime that it is. That will cost a bit of carbon, but the combination of both are actually carbon negative, meaning that the Hempcrete, once it's installed, locks more carbon in than the standard building products around us will actually create in carbon dioxide.
So what I'm hearing is that it's a really effective insulator.
Yeah, it's also a very good insulator.
Right.
It's very light and porous, and inside the hemp are all kinds of vessels, and they all together in the big block create a good insulation and also a hygroscopic function.
Right. So it's a very effective way of insulating a home.
Yes, it is. The main feature of Hempcrete is that it transfers humidity and regulates humidity. So what happens in the standard building envelopes we have at the moment is that the humidity is not regulated. It is only regulated by external forces such as air conditioning and fans. With the Hempcrete, the walls will have a continuous humidity ratio. The humidity will be stable.
That's great. So for many places in Australia we have a really humid environment. So does that help with mould?
It helps with mould. The mould doesn't get a chance to actually stick to the surfaces because the humidity is able to transmit in and out at the same time. So in a concrete building or a Tupperware, the humidity will stick in there. In a Hempcrete building, the humidity is able to equalize and not be stagnant.
Fantastic. It'd be great to have less mould in the home. And the growing of hemp as well is sustainable within itself, is it not?
Oh yeah. Hemp, industrial hemp does not need chemicals as such or lots of water. It needs some water, but it is a very sustainable plant as such. Also, pesticides are not necessary because the plant, its density and its fast-growing capacity make sure that the weeds don't get a chance to grow.
Excellent.
So that's that part of it. Then there's the byproducts. This is only actually a kind of waste, if you name it that, because the fibers are taken off and are used in clothing and clothing and other products.
Mm-hmm. So it's actually a really efficient way of creating a number of products from one single plant, one single organism.
Yeah, yeah. Hemp has a lot of varieties, and hemp users have, there's about 20,000 hemp users. Oil I just put on my skin, and it's been consumed as well. And the fibers have been used in a lot of applications, such as car interiors and so on.
Mm. So in short, if I'm building a new house, how am I going to use hempcrete?
That was the question you asked before. How you will use it? You mean how you will apply it in the house,
yeah.
or how you get about using it?
How will I include it in the building of my home?
Okay, the standard home will be a timber frame,
mm-hmm.
And the timber frame will carry all the loads, the roof and floor loads. Then the hempcrete will be cast around the timber frame.
Right.
We're
Okay.
just making, we have a French colleague of us who just arrived, and he's making a short video how to explain how that actually works. So that will be up on our website soon.
Brilliant. And is there anything else you want to say about hempcrete?
Yes. How many hours do you have? So, okay, well, let's go and have a look at some properties of hempcrete. So, because the lime creates a natural biocide with hemp, termites are not interested. Termites will not eat hempcrete.
Right.
They are not interested. Fire, as in the fire resistance, hempcrete does not burn or explode, just like concrete actually can explode, or like bricks can react to fire. Hempcrete has very good fire ratings. We are currently doing additional fire tests to get higher ratings to get into the commercial buildings, which require a 90-minute fire ratings. That's fire. What else do we have? We've got, so the hygroscopic function is very important. The fact that the building can breathe, and a breathing building, just like the skin, is a very important thing of our house. The old houses in Europe and so on, they have been built out of lime and straw, or lime and rocks, and they've always been able to breathe. Since people came around with cement, they closed them in. The walls reacted to that very differently, because the walls couldn't breathe anymore and couldn't regulate the temperatures. So they start to decompose quicker. Yeah.
So we're talking about termite resistant,
Mm-hmm.
fire resistant,
Mm-hmm.
and also much better able to regulate temperatures and humidity.
Correct.
So
that also includes the temperature regulation. So that means the R ratings or the insulation values. So the insulation values are very good, because the temperature will is influenced by the humidity. And if the humidity is regulated, your temperature will be much more comfortable than if it's not.
Brilliant.
It's got a good thermal capacity, and also a very good, what is it called again? Thermal and thermal mass. Yeah, that's right. So it's got a good thermal mass and a good thermal capacity.
So there seems to be quite a lot of benefits of using hempcrete, from what I'm hearing. If you'd like to know more, how can somebody find out more about hempcrete, Johan?
Oh, if they punch in Hempcrete, they'll find Hempcrete Australia at the top with our website, and we've got all the facts on there. We've got short movies, a lot of explanation, downloading, drawings, and so on. We also give trainings for people. We can train you as an owner builder if you'd like to install your own house, or we train builders and carpenters to become installers. And the product gains a lot of popularity and has a long history in France. for over 20 years, where it is growing very vastly and getting very popular in commercial and domestic world.
Excellent. Well, if you're interested, and there's a lot here to find out and a lot to be interested in, I suggest you Google Hempcrete and find out more about it. Thanks very much for joining us today, Johan. It's been really interesting to listen about all these amazing properties. So thanks very much.
Thanks, Kirsty.
Thanks. See you next time. So I'm interested, how does the hempcrete look when it's finished?
Okay. Well, hempcrete can look like any other house. Hempcrete can be clad with timber or fiber cement or steel or with brick or brick veneers, but it's all a doubling up, and it's all not really necessary. The standard, the easiest and the most cost-effective way to finish hempcrete will be with a render. And I've brought here a little block which we put some render on. So this is a lime render, and we work with a recognized long-lasting company that works with the renders. So the lime render makes sure that the wall still breathes. Lime will breathe through the humidity, so it doesn't lock it in. So it is not possible to use acrylic or cement renders.
Yeah, because that's such a key property, isn't it? That ability to breathe.
Correct. Then here we have a clay render, which we put on, and that can be used on the inside of the house. And this is all natural, very clean products that can be finished in any way as well. Render finishes can be baby bottom smooth, as they say, very shiny and flat, or rustic with all kinds of different finishes, sponge and so on.
Oh, great. So we can still have it looking pretty.
Yeah, oh yeah, pretty is no problem.
Excellent.
It can look like a plasterboard house.
Right. Wow. So the last thing that I'm really interested in, and that other people would probably be interested in, Johan, is how does hempcrete stack up financially? Okay.
Well, the initial costs of the installation and the products might be some dearer, although the cost will drop drastically when you are able to install it yourself with your own family or friends once you've done the training. So the initial costs might be dearer, but the overall running cost of your house will be much cheaper, and this is all related to its safety regarding fire and termites and health, but also merely the energy consumption of your house. To keep your house cool or warm requires energy, and this is not necessary or to a certain minimum with a hempcrete house due to its good thermal properties and the fact that it regulates humidity, which is related to your temperature and your comfort.
Are there any comparisons that have been done as far as energy consumption goes with a hempcrete house and a normal, a conventional home?
Yeah, you can save up to 70% with in energy
70%.
in energy costs for hempcrete houses
over a period of time.
Well, that will kick in as soon as you live in the house.
Yeah.
So your energy is really reduced. We had a customer in Ireland and on one of the fiercest coasts there that get very cold winds and lots of rains and frost, and the people were complaining that they couldn't use their wood heater because it was not necessary.
Really?
That's real.
Okay, well, I'm sure there's many places in Australia where it would be incredibly effective as far as energy consumption goes.
Yeah, with the change, like up north, the very cold mornings, freezing mornings and hot days, that's where the hempcrete will perform very well. The walls will create this buffer of temperature and make sure the temperature is stabilized inside, instead of heating up and then having to cool down. And it can't cool down overnight because the heat is in the walls.
That's great. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.